Plaintiff Rosemary Green says after her son committed suicide, the defendant came forward and claimed that Rosemary's son was the father of her child. Rosemary did not want to get close to the child until she knew for sure, so she petitioned the court for a DNA test. Defendant Tiffany Yo admits she was seeing Rosemary's son and another man when she got pregnant, but a DNA test proved the other man was not her child's father. Therefore, Tiffany is certain that Rosemary's son is the father.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right, and you all are here for a DNA test. Miss Green, you want to determine whether her son is your grandson.
That is correct, sir.
All right, give me some background on what we're doing.
The reason why I'm here today, sir, is because I lost a son here just a few months ago. Actually, I'm sorry, in November of last year, 2017, September 23rd, my husband and I celebrated our 11-year wedding anniversary. 3 days later, I got notified that my son had passed away due to suicide. Oh. So not only am I here, Your Honor, for a DNA test, but I've seen past episodes of yours, and I've seen how kind you are to litigants when it comes to mental health issues and assistance. So I really need help with that, Your Honor.
We're glad to be able to help with grief counseling.
Yes, sir. My life hasn't been the same since.
I'm sure.
I actually moved to the state of Georgia because I wanted to be somewhere where no one knew me, knew my situation.
Why?
Well, I guess it's just been my life experience to just be somewhere where it's just myself, my husband, and my children. I've actually been able to have a better life, I feel. I left in Ohio, my mom, my sisters, my stepdad before he passed away. And I was that kid that didn't really get along with my family, my mom, my sisters. What happened was when I started having children, I moved to the state of Iowa, again, where I didn't know anyone because I didn't get along with my family. So for about 13 or 14 years, it was just myself, my husband, and my children. Well, after that time, sir, I just felt like, people have grown. I just want to be around family again. I wanted my kids to grow up with cousins, grandma, aunties, uncles. So once I got there, sir, it happened almost immediately. I feel like today that leaving Iowa and not being just with my husband and my children was the biggest mistake of my life. It started immediately.
It got messy or what happened?
Yes, sir. There was arguing again with me and my sister, fighting. And they hadn't even seen my children in about 13 years, but they must have been holding on to some resentment from when I was a kid because it started up immediately.
Okay.
I feel like my sister single-handedly destroyed my family.
Wow.
I feel like today, which is why I need help, I feel like if I hadn't went back to Ohio, I would still have my son because he just wasn't used to his mama, seeing that drama around her, arguing and fighting all the time. My son ended up going back to Iowa.
So right up until the loss of your son, you were still feuding for the most part, with your family.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
well, you did right to move. I
Yes,
just
sir.
felt perhaps that being with as many family members as you can would help heal, because the grieving process should not be carried out by someone by themselves. A person shouldn't grieve by themselves, in my opinion, and I think professionals are probably going to tell you that as well, from what I'm told and from what I've experienced through the loss of my mom. It hits you when you're by yourself. Yeah. That's when it hits.
I'm actually surprised you say that too, Your Honor, because honestly, I felt like I needed to be by myself to grieve for my son. Everybody tells me, no, you don't need to be by your son, because they knew what kind of relationship I had with this kid. So I'm glad you said that, because I really felt like I needed to be by myself to grieve.
And Tiffany, tell me, what association have you had and that you know of your son having with her?
Okay. So I had my son cremated because I wanted to bring him back home with me. I didn't want to leave him in Iowa. And I decided that I wanted to take Darian to Iowa so he could be amongst his friends on what would have been his 22nd birthday. So we drove, and I went all the way to Iowa. April Fool's Day, he would have been 22. I mean, we were planning on getting together and being around some friends. Out of nowhere, I get a message in my inbox from this young lady, Tiffany, stating that she had reason to believe that my son fathered her child. So the first thing is, wait a minute now, are you sure? You know, can I see him? Can I hold him? I said, because what you need to understand, young lady, is that this child stands to change a lot of lives. A lot of lives. I said, I need for you to be 100% sure this can't be no oops, my bad moment, because I need this child in order to heal. So we met up.
How old
She let
is
me
the
hold him.
child?
Well, at the time, he was about 4 months. Okay. I believe he'll be 9 months now. And Your Honor, I just have to say, when I seen him and I held him for the first time, literally, it felt like I could breathe. It felt literally like I might be able to live. That I don't have to die. You know, I just had to let her know how much this child means to us. How my mom, everybody need for this child to be my grandsons. And I told her this. I hope you are 100% sure that this is my grandson, because this could literally push me over the edge. And that's why my sister didn't want I have a little sister, Aya. She didn't want me to get too close. My mom didn't want me to get too attached, because they eventually moved to Aya to see how close me and my son was. So they know what this could do to me, what potential this has to do to me if this isn't my grandson. And I tried to explain that to her.
Ma'am, let me hear from you.
I met Darion when I was 15, and then I'd been off and on with him up until the point that he passed away. I got pregnant in March of 2017 with my son, and I was seeing someone else at the time. So when my son was born, with me and the person I was seeing, we went through the whole child support recovery stuff to get a DNA test for him. He wasn't his dad.
Was that the only other person you were seeing?
So then when I was 7 months pregnant, Darion passed away. So in March, when we got the results back that that the person I was seeing wasn't my child's father, I did message Rose and I told her that I thought Darion was my son's dad.
Yeah. And that was because he was the only other person you had seen?
Yes.
You told her you were absolutely certain?
Yeah.
She said she needed to know 100%, and you told her 100%.
I said I was sure, because I hadn't been with anyone else.
What are you doing to heal?
Nothing.
Do you need some grief counseling? Is this your father with you?
Yes.
He says you need some grief counseling. So we're going to help you as well. Let me have the results.
Can my daughter stand up here with me, please?
Sure.
Come on.
Hurry up, doll.
I was running.
Please, God. Please, God.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little break.
Judge, please don't do this to us.
I'll be back soon.
Stay seated, everyone. This court is back in session.
Please, God. Please, God. I'm sorry.
I'll give you a hug, baby.
I'm sorry. It's not.
It's not your grandson.
I need to go.
It's all right. We're going to get you some counseling today.
Oh my God, he don't have no kids, Judge. He don't got no kids. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. God has his own way.
Oh my God, why? I'm sorry.
We're going to get you some counseling before you walk out the door, okay?
Okay.
You okay? Okay, you're right.
My God,
Stop it. She didn't know.
She knew. She was with somebody else.
Stop it. She didn't know.
You know who you sleep with. God.
Hang in there, man.
Oh, I can't
believe this.
But we hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That's
They told me,
it's okay.
they told me don't get attached. They told me not to get attached.
Well, young lady, you said you hadn't been with anyone else. And it's obvious that you were dishonest about that. And you were dishonest about one of the most impactful life circumstance. Because as she says, she's already attached and you see the impact. And I'm sure you're impacted because now I don't know what to believe, so I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, ma'am. We're gonna offer you grief counseling nonetheless. And we're gonna offer you grief counseling, and I gotta say a prayer with you guys. That's the best way. Both of you, both of you.
Attached.
Dear God, forgive me of my sins. Cleanse my heart so that you'll accept my prayer. We come to you asking for healing of the heart. We know if they put their hands in your hands, you'll comfort them. We ask that you'll allow the counseling to be productive. This is our prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Judge.